Hey guys, today we're diving into a dream so vivid you can almost taste the salt in the air. A hidden beach town in the US where $1,500 a month supposedly lets you live like royalty. Picture yourself waking to waves crashing, sipping coffee on a porch swing, all without draining your retirement savings. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, hold on to your flip-flops because you might be shocked at what's possible, or what's not. This coastal gem promises freedom from the grind, but is it a golden ticket or a budget trap? I'm peeling back the curtain and trust me, you'll want to stick around for this. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop a comment with your location and time zone. I'd love to know where you're chilling tonight. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're standing at a crossroads, staring down the promise of early retirement. The idea hits like a warm breeze, ditching the 9-to-5, trading cubicles for seashells, and living large on a shoestring. This isn't just any beach town, it's a whispered secret, barely touched by influencers or overpriced resorts. You imagine a life where your biggest worry is whether to grill fish or shrimp for dinner. But your gut's tingling, isn't it? Can $1,500 really stretch that far in 2025, with inflation nipping at your heels? You've heard horror stories, retirees blindsided by hidden costs, dreams of paradise sinking under rising bills. Yet here's this town winking at you like a siren. You're curious, maybe a little skeptical, but the thought of swapping spreadsheets for sunsets keeps you hooked. Let's rewind to why this dream even matters. You've spent decades grinding, squirreling away every dollar, maybe skipping vacations to pad that 401k. Early retirement isn't just a buzzword, it's your rebellion against the hustle. You want slow mornings, not alarm clocks. You crave a place where your savings don't vanish faster than ice cream in July. This beach town, tucked away from the glitzy coasts, feels like your shot. It's not Miami or Malibu. Think quieter, quirkier, with mom-and-pop diners instead of Starbucks. You're picturing a bungalow, maybe a bike ride to the market, and neighbors who wave like they mean it. But before you pack your sandals, let's talk numbers. Because if this sounds too good to be true, you're right to raise an eyebrow. Here's the kicker. $1,500 a month isn't pocket change, but it's not a fortune either. In most U.S. cities, that barely covers rent, let alone groceries or doctor visits. Yet this town claims you can live like a king, or at least a very relaxed duke. You're wondering how. Is it a scam? A time warp to 1990s prices? Or is there really a place where retirees are sipping margaritas without sweating their bank balance? Spoiler, it's not magic, but it's not impossible either. You're about to walk through a real town with real costs and real people who've made it work. But fair warning, there's a catch or two. Like that time you bought sunscreen from a shady beach vendor and smelled like fish for a week? Yeah, this dream needs a sniff test. You're itching to know the name of this place, aren't you? Patience, it's coming. First, let's set the stage. You're not chasing a fantasy, you're chasing freedom. Freedom to read novels at noon, to nap without guilt, to live where the horizon feels endless. This town's got that vibe. Think pastel cottages, driftwood art, and a pier where old-timers swap stories. It's the kind of place where your stress melts like butter on a biscuit. But living like royalty? That's a bold claim. Royalty means comfort, security, maybe a splash of luxury, without the panic of an empty savings account. You're ready to see if this town delivers, so let's step into its streets and find out what $1,500 can really buy. You're strolling down a sandy street in Port St. Joe, Florida, the hidden gem we've been teasing. This isn't some glossy postcard town. It's raw, charming, with clapboard houses and a salty breeze that smells like freedom. You're here to see if $1,500 a month can really make you feel like royalty, and it's time to crunch the numbers. Your heart's racing. Can this place deliver the early retirement dream without bleeding your savings dry? Let's break it down step by step, like unpacking a picnic basket at sunset. First, housing. You're eyeing a cozy one-bedroom rental, Nothing fancy, maybe 600 square feet with a porch for your morning coffee. In Port St. Joe, you're looking at $700 to $900 a month unfurnished. Some retirees snag tiny cottages closer to $800, especially if you sign a year lease. You're doing the math. $800 leaves $700 for everything else. Not bad, but you're not popping champagne yet. Owning's trickier. A small fixer-upper runs $150,000, so you'd need a mortgage or cash, which might stretch that budget thin. You stick with renting for now, imagining seashell decor and a hammock out back. Now food. You're not cooking gourmet every night. Think fresh shrimp from the dock, $10 a pound, or tomatoes from the farmer's market, $2 a basket. A couple's grocery bill averages $300 a month if you're savvy, shopping at Piggly Wiggly and skipping overpriced imports. Eating out? A fish taco joint serves plates for $8, so 2 dinners a week add $64 monthly. Utilities, electric, water, internet, run $150, thanks to mild winters and no need for heavy AC. You're at $1,314 so far, with $186 left. You smirk, feeling like you've cracked the code, but don't get cocky. Life loves curveballs. Healthcare's where things get spicy. You're 55, retired early, and Medicare's a decade away. A marketplace plan costs $400 a month for decent coverage, assuming no major issues. Local clinics offer checkups for $50, but a surprise ER visit could sting. You budget $450 for health, wiping out your buffer. Suddenly, $1,500 feels tight, like flip-flops a half size too small. You're not panicking, though. Port St. Joe's got walk-in clinics and telehealth, keeping costs lower than big cities. Still, you jot a mental note. Emergencies need a rainy day fund. Transportation's a breeze. This town's small, think 3 miles end to end. You bike to the beach or walk to the bakery where scones are $2 and taste like heaven. Gas. Maybe $50 a month for occasional drives to Panama City for supplies. Insurance and maintenance add $100, so $150 total. You're back under budget with $36 to spare. You're grinning, picturing yourself pedaling past pelicans, but you know better than to trust a flat sea before a storm. What's lurking? Hidden costs creep in like sand in your shoes. Property taxes, even as a renter, get baked into your lease, call it $50 indirectly. Homeowner's insurance, if you buy, averages $100 monthly for basic coverage. Tourist season jacks up prices. That $8 taco might hit $10 in July. Miscellaneous, like Wi-Fi upgrades or fixing a leaky faucet, adds $100. Your $1,500's gone and you're $64 over. Yikes. You're not sunk, but you're not a hermit either. You laugh, remembering that time you tried karaoke at a dive bar and butchered Sweet Caroline. Community's the real gold here. Side hustles could tip the scales. You're not grinding 40 hours, but selling homemade jams at the market nets $200 a month. Or you tutor online, $15 an hour for $150. These gigs keep you engaged without stealing your beach time. You're back in the black with $86 to spare. It's not royalty, but it's freedom, sustainable, real. You're starting to believe this could work, but there's a catch coming, and it's not just the jellyfish in the surf. You're still in Port St. Joe, the sun dipping low, painting the sky like a spilled watercolor palette. You've crunched the numbers, felt the pinch of that $1,500 budget, and even found ways to stretch it with a jam-selling hustle. But now, as gulls cry overhead, you're wondering, is this beach town really your early retirement kingdom? Let's peel back the final layer like shucking an oyster to see if the pearl's worth it, or if it's just grit. Every paradise has trade-offs, and Port St. Joe's no exception. You love the quiet, the way stars pop at night without city glare. But the nearest major hospital's 40 miles away, and specialist care means a trek to Tallahassee. Nightlife? It's a jukebox at the Thirsty Goat, not a club scene. If you crave concerts or malls, you'll feel like a fish out of water. Family visits might be tough. Panama City's airport is small with pricier flights. You're trading urban buzz for tranquility, and that's a choice. Remember that fishy sunscreen fiasco? This town's charm comes with a whiff of sacrifice. Yet real people make it work. Take Linda and Tom, both 58, who ditched Atlanta for a $750 rental here. They fish for dinner, volunteer at the Turtle Sanctuary, and host card nights. Their secret? A $200 monthly eBay side gig selling vintage lures. Or Maria, 62, who paints seascapes for $300 a pop at the art fair. These folks aren't rich, but they're rich in time to breathe, to laugh, to live. You're picturing yourself in their shoes, maybe not royal, but content, like a crab scuttling free on the shore. So, is Port St. Joe for you? You're staring at the Gulf, toes in the sand, weighing it all. If you prioritize peace over hustle, community over chaos, this could be home. But if you need city pulse or constant family nearby, you might feel stranded. Ask yourself, can you embrace the slow life even when storms roll in? Your dream's not a one-size-fits-all t-shirt, it's tailored. Maybe you visit first, rent for a month, test the waters before diving in. You've got the tools now, the choice is yours. As the waves hush, you feel a calm settle, like a blanket tucked around your shoulders. Port St. Joe isn't perfect, but it's real. A place where $1,500 can stretch if you're clever. You see yourself here, maybe sipping tea as dawn breaks, no alarm clock in sight. The dream's alive, not a crown, but a simple hat woven from seagrass, fitting just right. You smile, thinking of that karaoke night you'll never live down, and know you're ready to decide. For now, let the tide carry your worries away, whispering softly, "You've got this."